Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Ndasha. In this video, in the following series videos, we are going to learn an accounting. But before we proceed to today's lecture, please, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's get started. What is an accounting? Accounting is the process of identifying, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting of financial transactions. What we are going to identify? We are going to identify financial transactions. What we are going to record? We are going to record financial transactions. What we are going to classify? We are going to classify financial transactions. What we are going to summarize, we are going to summarize financial transactions. What we are going to analyze and interpret, we are going to analyze and interpret financial transactions. So, accounting is the process of identifying, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing, and interpreting. It is a process, It is not a single task. Make sure of this, please. It is a process. So, what we are going to identify? We are going to identify whether the transaction is a financial transaction or non-financial transactions. Financial transactions or non-financial transactions. If that transaction is a financial transaction, it is the concern of accounting in general. But if that transaction is non-financial transaction, it is not the concern of accounting. So the finance manager or an accountant must identify whether that transaction is financial transaction or not financial transaction. So, what does we mean the financial transactions? This is the fundamental concepts of accounting. Please be careful here. Financial transactions are the transactions occurred during buying and selling activities of the economy. If I'm going to engage in the buying and the selling activity, that is a transaction. See? So, these financial transactions, to be a financial transaction, it must be expressed in terms of money. If that transaction is not expressed in terms of money, that transaction is not a financial transaction. Okay? To be a financial transaction, it must be in terms of expressed in terms of money, in terms of dollar, in terms of euro, or in terms of other some money measurement units. Yeah. This is the concept of identifying. Recording. Accounting is the process of recording. After we identify whether that transaction is financial transaction or non-financial transaction, if that transaction is a financial transaction, we must record in the book of account, the accounting record. And that record must be done in date-wise. Date-wise. If that transaction is occurred today, we must record today, not tomorrow. Upon the occurrence of the transactions, it must be recorded. This is the concepts of recording in accounting in general. Yeah. Classify. We must classify the transactions according to their similarity. For example, if the transaction is a commission transaction, we must record as a commission. If the transaction is a rent transaction, we must record as a rent. So we must group the transactions according to their similarity. Okay? So this is the concept of classifying. We must classify, we must group the transactions. Summarizing. After we identify, record, and classify the accounting transactions, finally we must summarize the financial transactions. How? For example, today if I deposit some amount of money to my account at the bank, and in the later time I withdraw some amount of money, or I bring some amount of money from that account, the bank officer at the end of the day must set the summary, the end balance of my account, because at the morning I will deposit some amount of money to that account, and the later time I withdraw some amount of money from that account. So therefore some activities occur to my account. So the bank officer must summarize my account and set my final balance, the end balance to my account. This is the concept of summarizing. Analyzing and interpreting. Analyzing is the expression of the relationship between two accounts. During economic activity, if the transaction is made, two accounts may be affected. For example, if Mr. John bought a car today and withdraw some amount of money to buy that car from his account, the amount of money found at his at the bank may decrease, and in the other side, the properties of his own may increase by car, because he loses his money and he gets some amount. He gets, or he owns the property, the car. So there is two transactions: the bank account and the car. So accounting must analyze the relationship between these two accounts, the bank account and the car. He loses money by cash, and he gains the property, the car. So accounting must analyze this relationship. It may set by ratio, chart, graph, and a percentage. It can be expressed in this way. Interpreting. Interpretation is about financial report. By the way, the final or the ultimate goal of accounting is generating financial reports for concerned body, maybe for internal bodies or external bodies. Internal bodies, managers, employees. External bodies, creditors, investors, bankers, or the government, they need a report. So the ultimate goal of accounting is generating the financial report to these concerned bodies. So this financial report must be interpreted and clear. Okay? Accounting is the process of interpreting, must be explained in clear and neat wise. Okay? So in general, this is the definition of accounting. Maybe if there is some doubt, you can write your comments below this video. So for today, we must stop here. Thank you very much.